First and foremost, I just want to shout out to all y'all. I didn't start learning online until I was in college, which was 2016. And it was not easy. Y'all are the realest generation out here. Okay, I want to give y'all big ups because a lot of people cannot do this. So let's just kind of dive right in. Since COVID, so many adults and students are dealing with feeling sad, randomly, aka depressed. That's what essentially it means. Overeating because of sadness or loss of overall appetite, stressed and feeling overwhelmed. Type in the chat which one of these are you feeling most throughout the week. Are you feeling A? Are you feeling B? Are you feeling C? Y'all, I promise y'all are not alone. This is me as well. Before I go over what you can do to alleviate the pressure of these, I will dive deep into why you're feeling this and what could possibly be the reason. So like I said already, before we get into the causes of feeling sadness, I want to briefly go over what feeling depressed is. Disclaimer, I just want to put this disclaimer out there. There is definitely different levels to this. And if you feel any of these for excessive amounts of time, please talk to Bobby, set up a chat to talk with a counselor. You know, talking to someone will definitely help. Finding someone that's close to you will definitely help. That's not judgmental. Therapy is normal. It does not mean you're weird or you have issues. You just need someone to confide in without judgment. So these are just some of the options of why you can possibly be just feeling depressed and sad. You may be feeling sadness, which can include crying spells or getting angry for like no apparent reason. I think that was my biggest thing going through school. Like I used to just have random outbursts or just be upset and frustrated, not understand like what was really going on inside of me. Just really dealing with a lot of stress. You don't really know how to exert it in a positive manner or just kind of feel that emotion and let it follow through. Feeling worthless or guilty. These are just feelings of depression, y'all. Trouble thinking, concentrating, making decisions, and remembering things. Like you forget something and you're just like, oh, well, I forgot. Fixated on things that you had struggled with in the past, self-blame, self-criticism. So these are just things, you know, again, that are what feeling depressed is. And I think everyone's felt it at least once or twice or multiple times throughout their life. So why are you feeling depressed? These are some reasons why you possibly could be feeling depressed, y'all. One, you're not getting enough sleep. I'm also guilty of this because I sometimes binge watch Netflix, okay? But I soon realized that it made me feel like crap the next day. So if you aren't getting sleep, it can lead to you feeling depressed or moody or irritable. 2, you're on social media too much. How many of you are following celebrities online? I think you said this age group was like 13 to 17. Yeah, look, if y'all want to go ahead and type how many of y'all are actually following celebrities, I follow some too. So, you know, sometimes consciously when you're constantly looking at other people's lives, you unknowingly will start to compare yourself to that person's life. Oh, that person's living like this. Their life is better than mine because of what they have and what they're doing. And again, if you don't take anything from today's talk, I just want y'all to remember this one thing, okay? Comparison is a thief of all joy. Like, I promise, there is someone who wish they had your life. No matter how bad your parents aggravate you or how you wish you may have had new sneakers like someone else on social media, there is someone in this world whose life is crappier than yours and they wish they had your shoes and they were living in your shoes. I will promise you that. So just take some time to separate social media from real life. 3, lack of community. This could be sports. I know some schools are still not offering that currently, and I know some parents just aren't allowing their kids around other kids. Or it can just be from, not making friends right now because you're stuck at home. For me, school was, my escape to be around my friends, to get away from family or to get away from chores. Like if I'm just being 100 with y'all, and it's normal. Like all of these are normal reasons to feel sad. I'm just trying to make y'all understand that it's normal that y'all are feeling these things before we kind of get into how y'all are going to be overcoming them. When it comes to overeating or just not eating at all, do you find yourself using your favorite snacks to help you feel good? Or when you're mad, stressed, that pint of ice cream makes you feel happier? If this is you, you're most likely using food as a coping mechanism, which happens to a lot of adults as well as teens, especially during this time when some people aren't developing those self-monitoring skills to notice those triggers that create that behavior of overeating. Now, if you're not eating, this can also be a reflection of stress from school workload, expectations from your parents, and just overall anxiety can kind of like stop you from like having an appetite. So if you wake up and like, I ain't really hungry, but subconsciously you don't know why, this could possibly be a reason why. Just so much on your plate and so much expectations. So ultimately, to sum everything up, stress and anxiety has a direct correlation with our behaviors, i.e. overeating, not eating, oversleeping, feeling sad. All of it is because of the pressure we put on ourselves and the other pressure that people place on us that we accept from them. So how can we fix it? Okay, I know a lot of you would love to get back to normal, and none of us really know when that will be. We will be able to successfully do that. So in the meantime, we need to focus on our mindsets, so we can become aware of triggers that help us, that lead us to feeling not happy or just crappy. You know, we can do that by making sure we stay in alignment and in good energy. One of the best ways to do that is self-care. It's time for you all to really develop a routine to keep you all energized and in a better mood all around. It's a better mood. Like, y'all would feel good. I would feel good. Before I get into the different types, before I get into that, I want to just kind of, before I get into different, before I get into the different types of self-care, please place in the chat box, what do you believe self-care to be? Because I feel like so many other people have their definition of self-care, and I really want to know what y'all think it is. Bobby, what you think self-care is?
I actually been stressing me out to add to it.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to focus on, I got to take care of myself because nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's my self-care. That's why I set my boundaries.
Yes, boundaries is a huge part of it. Caring about yourself and the things you do. I think self-care is working on yourself. Yes, y'all are on it. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Okay, so self-care is something that refuels us rather than take from us. Sometimes so many of us want to help, but and they feel like you feel purposeful doing that because you're helping someone, but it has a direct effect on your energy, so you feel depleted. I know, some people say, make sure your glass is overrunning before you pour into other people. So basically, if you don't take enough care of yourself, you won't be in the place to give yourself to loved ones either. That's essentially what self-care is. It's not selfish like some people like to make it seem. But however, I just want to kind of go into like, when you get on social media, society makes self-care looks like bubble baths, relaxing days at the spa, blowing a bag at Nike, traveling around the world. Now, don't get me wrong, all of these are forms of self-care, but they're not always the best options for everyone. And sometimes when you see these options, you can feel even worse because you may not have the resources to do any of that, right? I know being a teenager, I'm like, I would, face masks. I didn't even think I had that in high school. Like, it was just shopping. What's shopping right now? Everyone's home. Let's kind of get into what self-care actually is and how you can start implementing them into your routine. So there's two different types. You have macro self-care, which can sometimes feel overwhelming, or it feels like it needs to be this big grand thing. Like, that's going to be the vacations, the shopping, or even the gym for those of you that don't like to work out. So for those of you that's like, I don't really like to do that, that's going to feel like a big task, even though for some people it makes people feel good. But it's still a form of self-care. Micro self-care is something that you're going to always have access to. It can be spontaneous or brief practices. You can do it anywhere. This, meditation, stretching, going outside for fresh air. This is something that you can do every day, and it is not going to take much effort from you as the macro self-care would. So what next? How can you increase your self-care so you can decrease your stress, decrease your anxiety, and decrease your overeating? How can your self-care be a part of your routine? Next. First, you have to acknowledge how you feel. Okay, y'all? So I know growing up, people say just be quiet, you'll get over it, move on. But really ask yourself, why are you upset? Why are you sad? Once you practice learning how to stop in that moment that irritated you, feel that emotion, Learn that that emotion is a trigger to that behavior that doesn't make you feel good, i.e.,